What up, everyone? This is Mr. Lord, Dr. Professor, Dark Joker, here with another edition of Traditional Fans with Opinions, where I'll give my reviews for whoever I watched, read, or played today. And who are Traditional Fans with Opinions? That is myself, and that is you, the viewers. With all that being said, on with the reviews. My Hero Academia Season 8, Episode 4. So in this one, this episode finishes Dynamite's fight with All For One. So you see some of All For One's backstory, like basically when he was born, he drained like his mother's life force and stole her quirk right as he was born. Basically, he was a prick from birth, and he stole a lot of nutrients from his brother Yoichi. So Yoichi was like small and frail in comparison. Like basically, they were twins, and so basically Yoichi was just like basically a punching bag for All For One. So All For One would kill people, steal their quirks, and then so Yoichi's given the quirk by All For One, and he's basically held captive. Then he's saved by Kudo and Bruce, like the second and third user, or One For All, and you know Yoichi gives his you know One For All to Kudo, and then it's given to of course later Bruce gives it to Kudo gives it to Bruce, and you see like basically so All For One tries to get, and you see how he kills all the users for One For All till he gets beaten up by All Might in that big fight years ago that led to All Might's big injury. And so then see the president, Dynamite keeps doing all these attacks. All For One is like gradually degrading, like he's de-aging now he's like gets to a point where he's like an infant trying. He does a one last attack using his mother's quirk, trying to kill Dynamite, but Dynamite catches it with his mouth, and basically All For One fades away to nothingness, and he dies. So basically, the only part of him that's left is whatever's inside of Shigaraki. So now we're about to get into the final fight of Deku versus Shigaraki. That's the last fight. So yeah, I really like this episode. Dude, the visuals for the fight, like the stuff with All For One's backstory was great. Like, dude is so freaking evil. It's nice to see a villain actually be a villain, not be some sympathetic villain, some placebo crap. Yeah, no, none of this sympathetic villain. Let's have villains be villains. Like the guy was just evil from birth. I mean, frick, like that's like, I mean, the guy was almost like literally pure evil. Like, you don't see too many be villains from birth. Especially today. So it's nice to see that. And then yeah, then Dynamite gains big victory, and he tells Deku that he's leaving the rest to him, and he says that he couldn't beat All For One without the efforts of everyone else who was fighting him. So yeah, I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Spy Family Season 3, Episode 4. So the two segments for this episode. First one, first segment focuses on like there's a scandal regarding this famous singer who's like basically from Estonia. He's doing some performances in Westalis. It's probably like a cultural exchange thing between Estonia and Westalis. But then some tabloids report on rumors of different mistresses who've come forward saying they had affairs with him. So he's like, there's all these scandals going on. And one of the newer like agents for Wise is like this guy's such a prick. Like he's like blindly believing all the tabloids and stuff, and like handlers like don't just assume that. Use your brain. Like, and and then like there's like a death threat that appears, and then like some information comes in that apparently some mistresses, alleged mistresses, lied about the affair, like the affairs, and then the guy's like, oh yeah, and then yeah, so I think it was then like there's still the guy who sent the death threat, then does his he like takes a gun to disguised as a security guard, takes his gun to where the singer's about to perform, and he just tries to kill him, but the wise agents stop him. And the guy, the singer leaves. It's implied that it is implied that the affairs might have actually happened. One of the alleged mistresses was the wife of a mobster, and apparently it's implied he might defect to Westalis and just not return. Basically, out of fear of being killed by a mobster for screwing the mobster's wife. And yeah, and then second segment, so the bus runs late, so Anya's just waiting for a while. Everyone else goes home, so Henderson, basically Caesar off like basically asks if she wants to help carry like her like his documents. Basically, since he's charge of the first year's dorm, he does have other stuff he has to do. So like he helps out. So she like he tries to like ask her why she wants to get like Stella. She wants to do it to help, of course, Twilight's mission, but she says because they look cool, and you just see Henderson's reactions. And then when like Anya forgets she got a second Tony Trisbolt when Henderson asked her about what happened with that teacher lady last week, and then and and he's like, she got two Tony Trisbolts and she is this resolve. How elegant! It's so funny. And so now Anya agrees to help carry the books once Anderson mentions Candy. Of course, Anya then agrees. So she helps her. She helps Henderson. And Henderson shows her to like this room where all these pictures of these Imperial scholars. Apparently, one had six Tony Trisbolts. So he kind of says, "There's hope for you, Anya." So yeah, she it's the documents. Harrison off. She eats eats the candy, and Harrison offers to help her see what she got wrong on the quiz, and Anya leaves, and Harrison just reacts. He's like, "Oh, yeah." I mean, because he was trying to be a good teacher. I mean, the dude, like Harrison, is a genuinely good dude. Like, he can be strict, but he's one of those teachers I would compare him to Professor McGonagall from Harry Potter, where he like I would compare it to so like where so McGonagall infamously very strict, like infamously very strict, but obviously cared about her students. Like that was very obvious. And then basically but with McGonagall then but that's how it was. So that's how Harrison is. He's very strict, but he does care about his students. Like it makes it very obvious. See, I like this episode, like the segments they did. So these two segments, it was freaking funny. Just Harrison's reaction to that young agent, it's freaking hilarious. So yeah, I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Kingdom season 6, episode 4. So in this one, so Wayne Jian leads the Qin army um to, towards Ye. So all the troops stop, and Wayne Jin reveals to all the troops who are unaware about the plan that they're attacking Ye. Everyone's shocked. Then the march starts. So they march towards Ye, going through different, you know, cities along the way. They get to one of the big ones, this one big castle, and Shin is assigned with taking it. He and the mountain people, basically the mountain queen. She's like, hey, we're just gonna go in. Yeah, we're just gonna go in there, take it, open the gates, so that basically mountain she'll infiltrate, and then Shin will lead the charge inside once the gates are open. You know, Shin and Dao think it'll be 2 days, but the Mountain Queen says it'll be half a day. So that should be interesting. So yeah, I liked how they're setting up all these big battles, like how Zhao is caught from both sides with Yan and Chin. So that should be interesting how that's handled. So yeah, I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Yuri Randy, season 3, episode 4. So in this one, Fushi helps Mizuha hide out, and he asks her what happened. Mizuha says that she doesn't remember anything. She just knows that she killed her mother. And then yeah, so but the next day, Mizuha, when she tries to call her father, swears that her mother's alive, and she's confused. And even Fushi's confused. So yeah, so basically, Fushi has to behold her about what's going on because he doesn't think it's a knocker. He hasn't been able to find any knockers. And then Bond arranges for all the resurrected people to have like green cards for education or jobs. Basically, prepare them to adapt to the modern world. And it's shown that Bond says that Fushi's going to school with Mizuha and Yuki because of basically because the soul of Mizuha's mother asked the asked for Fushi to watch over Mizuha, and so these things. So I think Tanari's going to middle school. Tanari and Fushi are going to middle school. I think March is going to elementary school. So this is a good episode. There's a funny scene where Tanari tries on some dresses, like dress, and like March does too. I guess since Tamari's very tomboyish, Fushi thought they didn't fit her, but March, since she's recommended, she's pissed off, so she makes Fushi apologize to her. That bit's funny. So yeah, I really like this episode. Liked all the humor in it, all jokes and stuff. Like the writing, like the mystery they're saying that with Mizuha's mother. So yeah, I really like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Juma wants to be a common rare, episode 4. So in this one, so Yukarisu has, revealed herself as a shocker agent, so Yuriko changes to her jackal costume and defeats her and knocks her unconscious. Yeah, for an evil organization, Shocker is their main soldiers are pretty weak. So Yuriko texts Tojima and they meet up with Mitsuba. who's not happy to learn that his girlfriend is a shocker combatant. And it leads Mitsuba to tell the rest of the story of his past. So he and his brother Ichio were little. Their grandparents were killed by a shocker monster. Basically, there was like a home invasion. So there was like, I guess, a deserter from Shocker and some human were like, running from the law and from Shocker. They broke in. They were caught, but then Shocker comes in. This monster kills them and then kills Mitsuba and Ichio's grandparents. So in the present, Ichio arrives because Mitsuba called him. So Tojima introduces himself as Kamen Rare. He and Ichio fight about who the strongest Kamen Rider is, with Tojima believing the original is, and and Ichio saying that V3 is, because I guess it's the summation of the powers of 1 and 2. I mean, although I think the Zio's the most powerful since he used the powers of all the previous Kamen Riders up to that point. And Ichigo sees Yukarisu after she wakes up and tries to attack her. Mitsuba blocks the attack, says that he wants to protect her since she's his girlfriend, despite her being a shocker agent. But Yukarisu, she's moved by Mitsuba's care for her, but she says that with her mission compromised, she calls a bunch of other shocker agents to arrive at their location and eliminate, all the heroes there. Basically, because her mission's now compromised. So yeah, I really like this episode. The whole deal about arguing over who the most powerful Kamen Rider is, that bit was funny. Like, I was like, of course, we got some otakus. I think we really got some otakus here arguing over who's stronger. One saying V3 is the strongest, one saying the original is strongest, when the Z. Also, I'm like, the VO is objective, is, I would argue, is the strongest, because he has the abilities of every Kamen Rider up to that point when that was released. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, I like this episode. Like how everyone's talking, I'm interested in seeing what the deal with Shocker is in the real world. But yeah, I like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Born After the Apocalypse, episode 4. So this one, Yoko and Irie trace the FM broadcast to a source. They try to find some humans, and they come across a cosplay cafe, and they see that Akihabara, where they're at now, is overrun by animal descendants animals that escaped to Unozu or Uenozu. So they two of them get to the building. Then they find like there's like an AI DJ running the radio station. And yeah, so the AI shuts down around sunset. So Yoko and Irie, they repair the station with some, by scavenging around, find some parts, and then the AI DJ, which was called Akima Jiro the Second, Jiro Two, it and it plays like Yoko and Irie's requested song, which is like based off a nursery rhyme. So yeah, so I like this episode. Simple. Them finding AI, trying to find humanity. Obviously, they haven't. But yeah, I like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Phineas Ferb, season 5, episode 15. So in the segments in this episode, so in the first one, Future is like sick or something, so Belgida shows him an episode of Space Adventure, and so most of the episodes spent like inside that Space Adventure world, so kind of like like the Captain Nebula episode Fairly Odd Parents, which like was mostly focused on Captain Nebula. So they watch the episode. Buford wanting to learn what the how this one plot point's explained, has to watch the next one, which Baljeet agrees to. Next segment, so you have like a Drugan Fest with some Drugan berries supposed to be delightfully like depressing or something. A lot of Drusel like it, so Hein, Steuben's nurse hates it, so he tries to replace it all with chocolate. And then, the Fireside Girls are making a Dingleberry berry tart or whatever. Give these delegates to where like so the tri-state area can keep their money, keep their trade money from Jerusalem, and to prevent for them from having to sell one in the states in order to become just a bi-state area. Yeah, so in Phase Ferb, Belgian Weaver try to make the gigantic thing of Doogleberry. So yeah, so when Perry attacks Dr. D, the lasers start going around and they hit like then so but happens when so Dr. D's with the machine where his inhaler works, and he went to learn about the potential sale of one of the states big buy. So he's like, I can't rule just a tri-state area, or just I can't rule if there's no tri-state area. There needs to it can't just basically doesn't want to rule bi-state area or single state area. He wants to rule the tri-state area. So then he decides to help the Fireside Girls with doing that while Perry distracts the delegates. So with Face of Ferb's giant Doodleberry, they make the tart, then the delegates try it, are happy, and like they leave. So yeah, so I thought these were decent episodes. And then like yeah, so decent ones, this has been a decent season. That was funny how it was like, with also Doofenshmirtz that suffered through his childhood. A freaking brute is the reason he left. I mean, that bit was funny. So yeah, I like this episode. Looking forward to the next one. Chainsaw Man Reze Arc. So this movie adapts the Palm Girl arc of the manga. So Denji's assigned Shark Fiend as his like buddy, whatever, while Power gets blood drained. Um, he sees a bunch of movies with Makima. Makima, and when he asks Makima if he has a heart, Makima says that he does. Then like later, Denji's basically there's like rain outside, so Denji gets inside this phone booth to get shelter. Then this girl thought they had the same idea, so they start talking. Denji starts going to cafe. Then they sneak into school in order to help Denji learn how to be a student. And they go to a pool for Denji to learn how to swim, and for other reasons. Basically, yeah. So Reese, while that's going on, His assassin sent by Typhoon Devil arrives trying to kill Denji. Reze, kills the assassin and forces the Typhoon Devil to work for her. And then, while all this is happening, Aki is trying to work with the Angel Devil very reluctantly. So at the festival, basically, Reese asks Denji to run away with her. And then Denji says no because he has the good life, and for his perspective. And then, yeah, so that happens. So then, Riza kisses Denji and bites his tongue off. Which, yeah, that kickstarts the big fight, I'll say, between Chainsaw Man and Reese. So our bills are hosting the public safety, the Shark Fiend, they try to help out a lot. And then yeah, so basically through all the fights, so Tenji's hurt, then he's healed with like someone like basically like someone grabs like the corpse, whoever has the blood from it, fall into Denji's mouth so he can recover from some injuries, and he's able to defeat Reese, and so they're both saved from drowning. Like Denji offers to run away with her, but then basically so Reese tells him that she never had feelings for him. Then they go about their business. So the next day, the cafe, yeah, the little cafe, Denji goes there, waiting on Reese. But then Reese comes across Makima and Angel Devil, um, who kills her. And then the post-credit scene, Denji's still Denji's still waiting. But of course and then he has some bouquet of flowers for her, but then Power arrives, thinking the flowers were her, then he tries to take them back. That leads to a whole argument, which is funny. Yeah. So, I like this movie. That was really good. Like the music. Music's great. The animation, they've improved on since season one, who was also all 3D. There's a lot more 2D involved in this. There is still some 3D, but it's mostly 2D. And the animation looks a lot better than the anime got, than the TV show got. But yeah, so I recommend this movie. Watch it. Hopefully we get a season two. And that's it. Did y'all like the stuff I reviewed? And if you have your own opinions about all that, you can put all that in the comments. Thank you for watching, and like, subscribe, and all that. And look forward to the next video.